Yo, welcome back to more Koyomimonogatari as we continue in this calendar story. Once again, very much looking forward to the later parts of the calendar year because as we continue on, as we kind of go back to different points of time that we were at and examine something new or a little pocket of a story to see. And you know, Monogatari, there's a lot of interpretation to be had, especially with this series. It's like, what does this mean? I don't know. You know, I'm just reacting to this and doing my best here. But you guys left some very interesting comments once again, so thank you. Once again, I really appreciate it. Hamster and Thorfinn. Now, both of you, thank you for confirming my confusion with Araragi and Kaiki having to do with tree. It's both of them, and also the key kanji and ononoki as well. So like the key and Kaiki, also the key and ononoki means it as well. So interesting, you know, we'll keep that in mind. But the coolest thing is what Hamster's interpretation of Koyomi Wind was, because you know, once again I was kind of struggling, kind of like with Koyomi Water, but maybe to a little bit of a lesser extent, but still, you know, thinking about what Kaiki said about, you know, the darkness and, you know, interpreting that. And Hamster said something very cool and like in a meta way. It's like a meta joke about the show itself. The comment saying like, so instead of how did Kaiki spread his charms around, it's like how did Nishio Isin make Monogatari so popular? Like Kaiki's monologue poking fun at the audience for the success of the series. Like how weird it is, even the stuff I was complaining during the episode about, you know, Nisa Monogatari, all that, you know, weird shit, non-linear story, you know, dark and heavy themes. It's like hard for people to get into, you know, there's a lot of things that you could consider barriers in that respect. Yet, you know, the question is like, what kind of environment allows for a series like that to succeed? And then the quote, if something incomprehensible shows up, doubt the times you are in. Feel that something is very wrong because it means that the times are being enveloped by the darkness. So, yeah, much like Orange and Thorfinn said to that, I also really like that theory a lot. And like being another meta level beyond Kaiki even talking about the darkness. So yeah, I like that one a lot. Thorfinn mentioning, you know, it's cool seeing Hanekawa visually, because, you know, with their hair changing, you know, from long hair to her cutting it and then the tiger stripes, and we see that in the progression so far. And also like being a reminder that when Araragi has a problem, you know, running to Hanekawa, especially after last time, you know, him very coolly dropping the meme line on a Karen, like, you know, you can only help yourself, you know, dropping that. And then please, Hanekawa, help me. Of course, she had an excellent solution because she's great. But also about with Thorfinn also mentioning with Araragi having tree in his name, Sanjo Kahara having field, so I guess like a tree in a field. And that's probably partly why he thinks, you know, he's happy about the tree being an apparition that looks over the students and Karen. And also when he abandoned his humanity back in Kizumonogatari, when he like kind of transformed into a tree. So that as well. Man, someone might have even told me that back then, but that's like crazy now that I'm either being reminded of that or realizing that now. And also that it was a bit of a, character development for Kanen to lean on Araragi more and, you know, ask him for help, which in Nisa, you know, they fought over, which, yeah, we're thinking back to that. Yeah, that is definitely progress. And also you could say the tree is a fake apparition, a Nise apparition. So yeah, there's a little bit more flavor there. Oh yeah, once again, thank you guys for the comments. I really appreciate it for this Monogatari series, since a lot of it is over my head, a little lost on me, but I will continue and do my best. I'm definitely enjoying it, so let's keep going. Beginning the episode in 3, 2, 1. Oh shit. Platinum Disco, let's go. The dance. Brooding Araragi. Banger opening for sure. The visuals, nuts. Like some giant disco ball. Koyomi tea. October. Hmm. In the tea ceremony. Used to appear in the club room. Hmm. Alright then. Holy shit. Good dodge, bro. Consult. Oh, Jesus. Oh, I remember pens like that. Where you could, there was multiple in one. Leave the Suki, put that, see that hole in his bed still. Okay. Okay. And she solved it. Hmm. They still believe in it more than her. Logically. Nice. Those forensics. Logic is hard fought against strong feelings. Oh, Jesus. Very frustrating. So, what's his advice? Hmm. What's correct is meaningless. So, what then? Jesus. So, oh my god. By 3 colors. She's too fast with that. Are you? How are you gonna answer that? Classic Sukihi. Oh. Telling her what she wants to hear. Hmm. Right, it's not a big deal. Like, yeah, personally it's weighing on her, even though for no reason. Oh yeah, for sure. See it all the time. Hmm. I mean, I don't think there's a side here, really. Yes, you're very close to that. The irrational, the absurd, the illogical. Yeah. Hmm. To calm her down. Yeah, what's the problem? I see. Alright, what's the punchline? They just feel it to be true. Oh, a sensible explanation of the absurd. Oh, for her sake. Oh. Interesting. Sad what happened. Or this is the lie they're shaping around. Okay, yeah. Everyone did it for me. The fool. I'll be duped for their sake. That's true. Okay. I think I'm trying. So I'm starting to realize that I think I'm maybe trying to think too hard about these. Like, it's fun to come up with an interpretation if you have one, and by all means share it if you have it. But like, if there's not much for me to say about it, like that's fine. Like, and this feels like one of those as well. I don't know. I'm gonna sit for a second. Okay, yeah, like I was saying at the end there, I'm really not too sure what to say about this one. So, let me just go through it. So, Tsukihi has this problem. In the tea ceremony club, the members, despite her investigation and despite presenting evidence that there is no evidence that a ghost has been in there or there's like a ghostly explanation for things, they don't believe her logic. They emotionally and feel like they deny that and instead continue with their feeling, their quote, the irrational, the absurd, which we, Araragi and Kambaru, know to be real. Like, we know that that exists and is, in its own way, a logical existence among, like, human beliefs and, you know, the things that manifest them and, you know, all the things we've seen. But, you know, for Tsukihi, who Araragi has still managed to keep her outside of that, even, you know, from herself, you know, kind of duping her at the end, as Tsukihi said, like, for her classmate's sake, because that's the lie, but also, you know, for her sake, to kind of keep her there. Like, Kambaru, and I feel like it was all kind of captured in what Kambaru said, you know, that we want to side with her because we know apparitions to be real. We know ghosts are real, but, you know, she continues to deny their existence and pursues, like, her own path of reality. Right, you know, that logical reality. And it's interesting that Kambaru says that for both herself and Araragi, that why they side with her is because she denies them. It's as if they wish they could as well. So you have that possibly just speaking to their own personal feelings about, you know, all the things they deal with, you know, Kambaru with her rainy devil and just with everything that they encounter, you know, maybe wishing that they didn't have to. I mean, maybe. So, you know, there's that. There's, you know, just that and the real thing of, like, you know, people in the face of logic, people embracing emotion and feeling, which is true, but, you know, a very human thing. And it is also just the cause also for apparitions, even themselves. Like that fear, that belief, that, you know, that the irrational, the absurd, it's, you know, it's a very real thing and very, very real within the Monogatari universe. So yeah, I mean, you know, there's that. Araragi's willingness to lie to his sisters, to dupe them for their own sake, to continue to try to shield them, you know, kind of protect their logic, protect their reality, or, you know, especially I should say with Tsukihi at this point, which I remember, you know, with this conversation with Mayoi at the beginning of Nisei Monogatari, really wanting to keep them, you know, behind the curtain, you know, from all the things going on. Ultimately, Karen did end up encountering Kaeki, you know, Tsukihi being the phoenix as well, we saw by the end. And so, you know, in that way, he couldn't really protect them because literally Tsukihi is an apparition, essentially, and Karen had a very close encounter, even though that was thankfully just gonna clear up anyway. But yeah, I'm not too sure what else to say. I mean, there's surely like something there with the tea. I mean, besides, you know, obviously the tea ceremony club being the thing. Like, I'm not sure what else tea means there. I mean, I saw throughout the episode, you know, her pouring the tea, pouring many cups at one point. I mean, what else? You got classic Tsukihi trying to stab Araragi with the multicolor pen. I'm not sure what else to say. I think that's really all I have to say about that one. Feel free to share more if you can think of anything, but yeah, interesting. Again, I don't want to get into, I need to get out of this mode where I'm feel like I have to say more than I am, where I'm like, because I think even the purpose of this like series is exactly that. Like, you go through your it's like its own little recap of like all these periods of time that we've been through, and, you know, these isolated stories that Araragi's being told, and, you know, we get the punchline, and, you know, you take from it what you get, right? I mean, like you said in Koyomi Water, Thorfinn. I think all these stories are definitely like that. But yeah, that's it for that one. Let's go to the next. Beginning the episode in 3, 2, 1. Oh boy. Why is this one not? Okay, now it's kind of familiar. Huh. Why am I having trouble remembering this one? I'm having an Araragi moment. Which is ironic with Ougi on screen. Oh god. Persona. Oh boy. Time for Ougi, I suppose. Koyomi Mountain. November. Hello, you mysterious Ougi. They're going to Shirahebi? God damn it, another moment. The gaslighting. Wow. Mountains. Your specialty. Really? So that's part of it too. Discordo. Yeah. Oh. Yo. To repair that. Ah, yes. The talisman. As he does. Pretty clear. But it is October. Huh. Right, right. What are you doing? Yeah, very agile. Wow. The snake god. How appropriate. Sure. Biblical. That too, Gilgamesh. Hmm. Sure. Oh? So this is why she did what she did as well. Oh? Uh-huh. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to listen to everything she's saying. Well, perhaps making a new snake god. Did it? They moved it. It shed its skin and came here. How? Sure. It could have just been built fresh here and they just changed. It became the new one. Oh. Aliens built Shida Hebi. Supernatural. Inconvenient. Because of that, that's why you came here. Nonsense. She kicks. Hmm. Well, that was significant. Oh, hello. You're gonna have a bad time at the end of this month. The minimal. Sure. Right. Right. Yeah, you use it from there. The corpse. Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. That makes sense. The name, yeah. Oh, the scrunchy. Balance. Mmm. Well, what will happen to the balance? Oh my god. Oh. Oh. Let it slip. Oh, boy. Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah. As you should. A solid feeling. Oh, boy. Yo. We see the magazine of the Chick Season 2 that we learned about before. The talisman is in there. Oh, my God. Yeah. That's a tough one. But we learned some good stuff. Yeah, that was very interesting stuff about Ougi. And that with there at the end with Nadako, there was a point at the end where she was lifting up her head and it was like a ringing sound, like a horror movie type sound effect. It's pretty much what that was, unfortunately. It was interesting hearing her talk about it. Of course, her having a scrunchie and mentioning Kuchinawa, like we already know that she's already been set on that path. And where she was at mentally there. What's interesting about it is, you know, seeing that Araragi had a solid feeling, not just a hunch, like a solidly bad feeling. But, you know, we'll talk about it in a second. Okay, that's probably my favorite one, and because for a lot of it, I was just, you know, reading, just trying to intake everything Ougi was saying, and I think even then I'm gonna have to rewatch through this one, because, damn, dude. So wait, hold up. Ougi's saying that's the reason she came back in the first. Came to this town in the first place. I mean, usually, I take what Ougi says with a grain of salt. I listen, I remember, but Ougi is not gonna tell everything to Araragi if she doesn't have to. I don't see why she would lie about this. Like she gaslights the fuck out of Araragi all the time. So for now, I will take what she says here at face value. So with what she said about the shrine itself, about how they moved it to the top of this mountain, and actually because it's not native to here, that is like a cause of its discord as well. Something else I also want to point out, it's interesting, like, because we'll talk a little bit more about Ougi. I'm kind of all over the place, but with Nadako, obviously, like, being so connected to that, you know, this kind of explaining like why Ougi made like a manipulative push to Nadako, like as far as Nadako becoming essentially the new snake god of Shirahebe Shrine. Given that apparently, I guess I'm talking about Ougi. Never mind. I'm talking about both. Fuck it. Given, you know, we know that's what she did. So basically, it confirms it wasn't just about Araragi. It wasn't just that because she's close to Araragi. It's part of it, probably, but seems specifically given Nadako's circumstances, knowing that she would be susceptible, she was targeted. Due to that, became that, as we saw. But yeah, that's why Ougi came here, you know, in describing the imbalance of it, the balance that is, as of the point of this episode, that is, you know, fine, but, you know, criticizing her quote-unquote uncle Meme for not having countermeasures in place for what if another super powerful apparition came, like his shot, like he was able to, you know, clean up after that mess, but what if that happened? So it reminds me of Izuku Gaien school, like she wanted to make Shinobu the god, because Izuku seemed to want balance. Ougi, you know, being the self-proclaimed niece of Meme, wants balance, so it does make sense now learning that, you know, that's what she wanted to bring balance as well. So that's why she did what she did with Nadako, I guess, and saying that's the reason she came here. Again, for now, taking this at face value. Like, we obviously there is a significant interest in Araragi and his personal relationships that I originally thought was the reason for that, and that's certainly part of it. As far as, you know, her picking somebody like Nadeko, you know, to be the susceptible to this, to what she did. It feels like I understand Ougi a bit more. Ougi, seemingly, again, taking this at face value, and I could be completely wrong here, but it's just a thought I'm having. It seems that Ougi, of course, will do some evil things, morally questionable things, manipulate the way we see the way she manipulates Araragi, what she did with Nadeko, what she later did with Taratsuru to get Araragi to become more of a vampire. We see the lengths Ougi is willing to go for the sake of balance, right? And I like, so like kind of like evil acts for a greater neutral good, I suppose, because, you know, balance is the ultimate neutral. It's like good, bad, you know, balance is balance, right? And we saw that with Meme, and we see that here with Ougi in an even more extreme way. I had a kind of a thought, it was either at the beginning of the series or at the end of the last one, where kind of looking at Ougi as the final boss, or as like a mega antagonist might, you know, be the wrong outlook. Like, she's very questionable, she's very suspicious, but what she does seemingly is for an ultimate balance. I think the one chaotic factor is her personal interest in Araragi. You know, that kind of makes things fucky and very weird. But yeah, so I don't know. It's interesting to think about after seeing this. Like, this makes sense. I think before I was thinking it was more of like a personal thing, like really fucking with Araragi, getting to someone, you know, like Nadeko, like targeting her specifically. You know, again, it's the personal interest in Araragi that makes things fucked up. You know, like same with why she was looking for Mayoi. Like, who knows what her intention was there, right? Beginning of Koyomimonogatari, you know, when she met Araragi, and, you know, her inserted involvement as she does. But that's why I really like this one, because it's making me, the picture seems a little clearer now. And another thing, it seems like, with seeing Araragi's thoughts here in the face of Nadeko, in the face of what's to come, it's cool to see his thoughts, especially because, again, there's a point here about Araragi himself saying he has a solidly bad feeling, like not just a hunch, like a solidly bad feeling he knows something is going to go wrong. While in front of him, you see Nadeko like praying and doing all these like obvious, like kind of religious-y, godly motions. I don't know if they were trying to drive home the point that it's like literally right in front of him, and Araragi just kind of highlighting the fact that he just doesn't notice that with Nadeko when he should have sooner. I mean, that was definitely a thing. So it could have been that. And also just like seeing his perspective of having the talisman that Izugo Gaien gave him. But yeah, that's it for this one. Not much else to say. Of course, if you have something to add, feel free to share that with me, and we could talk about it at the beginning of next one, as we do. It's been very enjoyable for me to watch these shorts, and also like to see what y'all's interpretation is, because that's a really big thing with these shorts. But like the solid information we got in this one, along with other things that you could, I'm sure, get grander meaning from, was very enjoyable for me. I was like, oh, that makes sense. Okay. So yeah, once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.